Okay, so hello and welcome to Stationeers again. I've took the roof off this place because I've decided that I'm actually going to redesign the station. Um, I built, if I can find it, put the lights on does help. I built one of these and then I realised how big they are, and yeah, they're big. So I'm going to actually redesign my base around a battery area, and what I'm thinking is over there somewhere I'm going to build a probably a 7 by 7 structure platform for the batteries, with solar panels above, and the solar panels will feed using the heavy cable straight to the batteries, and then from the batteries they will go into some kind of fuse box or power controller that will limit the amount of power that is distributed into the station, which will be built across this way, and that means building more solar panels. And the reason being is so I can actually have my base lit up at all times, so I'm not having to use my power in my suit, although I have kind of got that covered as well with additional batteries. So there's that, which is good because it's important, and they're all large batteries, which is very important. Got the solar panels now functioning at last. Basically changed all of these to a 16 increment of 16, so because yeah, the problem I was having was the panels wouldn't rotate back into position, so changed it to an increment of 16, so at 16 they'll turn 10 degrees, and then 32 20 degrees, 48 30 degrees, and so on. And then when they get to the final stage, which is funny enough stage 12, 11, 12, something like that, 11, they'll end on 160. The sun rotates to 180. It ends on 160 at 100%, and then as soon as it gets to 178, the panels will rotate back to zero. Because the sun's still up, that doesn't happen straight away. They start rotating back, and then they'll rotate back towards the sun as it goes down. Then by the then they do end up rotating back to zero for the following day. So it fixed it. That was the main thing. I had it originally set to 180, but the panels wouldn't rotate back. Don't know why. The sun was no longer there, so it wasn't reading the sun. But yeah, the panels now reposition themselves in this, and if it's daylight by the time I've done all of this, we'll be able to watch them in motion. And just think I've got to redo all of that again. Fun. So this is the basic furnace setup that I went with. I wanted to build it away because Stu said he had his explode. Didn't know if it took any of his base with it, but so I built it out here, expanded the platform and went with it here. I've already got some stuff in here, iron and some coal. No pressure in the tank, and then I went with a pipe with a valve, and then some pipe, and then a passive vent at the bottom. And so when I put the coal and iron in, I can depressurize it before I put the other stuff in. And I should have the stuff I need on me, so we'll have 2 of that. Funny enough, I think we need 4, don't we, of that, because it's 2 to every... Oh boy. Anyway, and we need this. So wrong button, wrong button again. So we've got all of that we need. We just need more ice, and unfortunately I can't find any ice anymore. So that will be a major issue. I did actually start digging because I found ice right next to the base, and so I started digging and I ended up coming across iron, but no more patches of ice. It was just the one ice, and I tested that out before I decided to press the record button to make sure that this all worked. And now, as you can see, and that goes a lot deeper than that. It's very deep. So very annoyed that I do not have enough iron. In fact, I could theoretically just couldn't I?
Pressure critical.
Oops.
Oxygen critical.
Don't
Temperature critical. Low pressure.
It's all good. It's fine. Don't open your mask. It kind of kills you. Could always just do that, couldn't I? Because oh, it doesn't release the carbon though, does it? Or does it? Has it got rid of the carbon? It has, hasn't it? Whatever. Half that. Why is it? Mixed. Okay, never mind, we can't do that because it's mixed. So that's a major issue. We do need more ice. I mean, it's okay for the other one. It's right there. I wonder if maybe digging around here might reveal what we're looking for. Maybe. Just make another big hole somewhere, may as well. I don't want to dig that up though. Just want ice. You'd think that the ice would be covered in, or the moon would be covered in ice because of how cold it is on here, but sadly no, it's not Space Engineers, where everywhere you look you see ice, at least on the Earth-like planet there is. Maybe not so much on the moon. Coal. Why not? May as well grab it while I'm digging here. Sun's coming up. Good. Let's see if we can get out of this hole. How's my power? And oxygen was okay, wasn't it? Yeah. We'll only die if it runs out. Let's see if we can find... Is that ice there? That's ice, isn't it? Right there. See? Son of a... Can we turn our light back on a minute? I didn't dig that one out. Oh look, copper. Definitely always comes in handy. This is the one ore that I always, well, until ice became a thing, copper was always the one ore that I had trouble with. kind of still low on it now. Iron's not so much of a problem. I found a nice big vein of that last time I came out digging, or mining rather. See, just it's like one patch of ice, and as long as it stays in my belt it'll be fine for quite a while, so that's no problem. When you get stuck. That's that all the way over there. Is that silicon? Looks like it. Yeah. I'll have that as well. Look, son of a... going to reveal it so that I know where it is, so I can see it more easily. There's ice right there, look. Fuck's sake. And it's right... And yeah, I came past it. I walked straight past it. I wonder if ice is one of those ores that can regenerate or can just spawn randomly. It makes sense for it to be able to do so. In some regards. If we press the right button it might work. So we've got enough now to be able to do what we want, but we can't do it until the night time, which is fine. We'll take the belt off and put it away though. So I don't know if wearing the belt actually reduces its lifespan. But what we can do is turn off our lights. Is we can now sit and watch solar panels, I guess. So, what was it? 96, they should rotate. There we go. So, anything after 96, it rotates. So 97, it's rotated, and you know, then like 112 or 113, it will rotate again, and so on all the way up to 160. 178 rather, well 160, and then 178 it will rotate back, or start to rotate back and then rotate forward and then rotate back, but it will rotate back to the starting position, and at which point then we can go and play around with the furnace, which is always a fun thing to do. Now I'm thinking the furnace I want in its own room. So maybe maybe somewhere over in that direction, away from the power. And it's going to be, obviously by the looks of it, it'll be quite a wide base, and it might be a multi-story building. It depends. Because pipes are going to become a thing at some point. I mean, that's the first pipes I've actually built anywhere. So yeah, I haven't got into that side of things yet. And then there's all the logistic stuff to worry about at a later date. with memory chips and whatnot, which is always a fun thing. Have to have a play around with them and see what carnage I can get up to with them, and sit here scratching my head for several hours or several weeks or even several years for that matter. So before I do start building that structure over there, I want to get the amount of solar panels that I do want. Now I don't know if I want to have it so it's a grid filled with 5x5 solar panels. I don't know if a solar panel in front of another solar panel would affect it. I presume it would when it gets to like here, but up there in the sky I don't think it would. That's something I will have to worry about, I guess, at some point. The alternative is just having a long line of solar panels going the full width of my base. I mean, having the extra 5, I could always have 10 panels, I guess. 5 on one side and then 5 on the opposite. But the way I worked these out was I actually sat here watching the panels and seeing as soon as the power started to drop from 500, I would then take reading of this and base my rotations on the peak wattage as it started to drop. Give or take a couple of degrees, so that in the sun, so that it would try and maintain the highest possible power coverage. And as you know, it does work, and now my station doesn't run out of power because it's got all of those extra batteries to throw in it. And as you can see, the panel's now starting to turn, but now it goes back because the sun's still up, and now it'll continually rotate all the way back over to 0, and then when it's there, it'll stay there until morning. There we go. And I should leave that on. So now we can swap out our belts again. Wrong one. So we need another 2 of this one. Was it? It was, wasn't it? 2 of this, and because that we've got enough of. So, well, if worst comes to worse, what we'll end up with is an explosion of some kind. So we can now turn this on, and we'll get 40 grams of steel. And when it's done, we'll pull the lever and we'll get our steel out. I don't exactly know when it's done. We'll produce 40 grams of steel, but shall we see what happens? Oh, okay, there it is. 40 grams. So we can now throw that in one of these machines, I guess this one for now, because I've already got some in here. But that's the basic operating system for this, and then like I said, when you want to release the pressure, you just hit the valve, don't stand anywhere near it, probably not anyway, and all that will go, and you'll see the pressure in here dropping. So there's that. So hopefully that will help somebody with that design. I've got some more of these stored in a chest over there. I kind of left it running and it was producing these, and I was messing around over here trying to work out why that valve wouldn't fit directly onto the tank, onto the furnace, and then grabbed a pipe out of here, and thinking I only had one, I told the machine to make more, and started messing around over here. Realised I actually had more than one, came here, put them back, realised then I'd actually told that machine to make more, told it to stop, by which point well, this corner was kind of full. And I have noticed that I was actually making grids, these blocks, the frames rather, out of this machine, and they was all stacking up here nicely, and then all of a sudden I saw one get sucked up into there. So that's a thing as well, they can get sucked up into other machines. So I guess in theory you could actually put all the machines literally right next to each other, or connect them all via pipes into one another, and have it so it spits this out somewhere else. I guess that's a thing. But that would mean that you'd have to pull the levers on all of the others. That'd be a pain in the ass. I haven't done shoots yet, so I don't know. But yeah, it's not that chest, it's the chest that's sealed. I've got the lid closed. Oh, okay, open, okay. It's one of those chests back there anyway. It's literally almost full of pipes. I built this, I need to work out what I'm going to use this for out in the fabricator. Yeah, I don't know what I need it for. What? You know, as far as I know, food isn't a thing right now. Unless I've been watching too much of Star Trek, isn't that what a fabricator does? It produces food. Anyway, I need to build a recycling plant though, a recycler. So let's see, motherboard, logistics, power, battery, don't think it's in this machine though, is it? Or is it? To be honest, I was going through the machine and I was like, well, I don't have one of them, so I'll build one of them. Not thinking if I'd need it or not. It must be this one then. No, furnace, blend. What was that? Oh, pipe. Okay. Yeah, I've got one of them pipe benders. Recycler. You need iron. Well, we've got plenty of that. I guess swap them over for good measures. So, anyway, that I think that will be my last video for a while, because I just wanted to show mostly that I got the solar panels actually functioning now, and because this was the newest part to the base, I wanted to showcase that, because the rest of the stuff gets more tedious now, and especially with the amount of solar panels I'm going to be. Very quick iron actually smelts. And copper. Now copper takes forever. I'm not sure about the airlock. I don't want to use this just yet, and I don't know why I keep spinning that mouse around like that for. I don't want to use this room yet, because I don't want to have a sealed base just yet. Oh, talking about sealed, I need to refill my oxygen bottle. So, put that in there. There we go. And I guess empty my waste bottle out. There we go. Not sure if there'll be some use for the waste at some point, like manure for your plants. Not that I'd want to particularly do that, but you do actually have plants, so a greenhouse would have to be made, which means that I'd have to use, I guess I'd use the gases off these for the heating, send heat down the pipe into a greenhouse. Is that how that would work? Oxygen. How would you water your plants though? I haven't seen anything for water unless you use ice, and there isn't enough ice to do that I can find anyway. And I'm going to watch this because I don't want two recyclers. Although with one recycler I could recycle the other one, I guess. But ideally I don't want to. What I should have done is built them solar panels on that wall, or even just directly above these, and not had the whole of this section. But originally I was going to have it as a sealed base. Turn this off, not using it, so and you'll have to stand right there by the locker. And you can stop. Or I just take up this fabricator because I don't need it. I have no use for it yet. Oh, that's smaller than I expected. Okay. That's... Wrong one. No. Damn. That's what you get for rushing, I guess. Where is it? There it is. That's the one I want. And have I got any space in here? No. And I don't want to have to leave it in there for too long. Right. In fact, now that I can recycle stuff, that can go, that can go. Good. I'll do it. First I need to switch it on, right? Would help. And then what else? I have two of them, I don't need them. We can have that. That can go, the lights can go. Chance to tidy up. Get what I don't need out of here. Don't need a door. Definitely need that. Don't need that though. Need that. Don't need that. Okay. And I'll do all the pipes at it. Oh shit. Oh, these are all mixed. That's interesting. So, if I throw down, not the whole of it, wrong button, I don't want to throw it either. What happens if I have that doing there? Huh, not much. So the only use for this then is over there. Shit. So I guess that's the punishment for having to recycle things, for not paying attention.
Power low.
It's a good job I turned that off then, isn't it? I'll take that one. There you go, charge up. Wouldn't it be more ideal to go like that? Because in theory this one would charge up faster than that one. So, yeah. Next time we come back, it will either be I will be making a more functional base, or we will see you when it's actually done. But until then,